Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News, and wow, what a day yesterday in Champions. Some remarkable series results. The KRU versus Gambit game especially, probably the best ever matchup I have seen in a competitive Valorant history. Loads to dive into today. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting that like button is the best thing you can do. Tell this channel to reach new people, and please consider subscribing as well if you have not yet already. You're not going to want to miss all the follow-up, I'm sure, to this event. Of course, a winner is going to get crowned today, and then rostermania and some of the roster changes and all the roster news coming out is going to begin. Let's talk about this first of all. So ahead of the finals today, there's going to be like an opening ceremony kind of going on, a final ceremony. Zed and some other people are performing in this. I thought this was particularly cool to see. Pretty sure he was involved in writing the song, like the Die For You song that actually came out alongside Champions here in the Valorant side. So really cool to see, I thought, ahead of this event. But yeah, definitely going to be a good starter really to what is probably going to be a banging grand finals. But to get there was remarkable, frankly. Firstly, this I thought was crazy from Bone Cold. This is long before their series right here. So of course he plays for Acend, long before their series up against Liquid, and he says, like, yeah, can't wait to beat these guys 2-0 tomorrow. Of course, will this age well? Because there's been a lot of things we've seen really the last couple of, well, weeks or so really, of teams saying things that don't end up aging well. And I saw there was also an interview that came out after Liquid won that, I'm pretty sure when they beat Cloud9 Blue in the quarterfinal. Link and some of the other guys said, yes, we're the best team here, we're going to be very difficult to stop. And every time a team says that, they get beaten the next time they play. I swear it's a guarantee. Like, just don't say anything like that and you're going to be fine. But Liquid come out and say, yeah, you know, we're unbeatable, like no one's going to be able to take us down, and then immediately they play Acend the very next day, and guess what happens? This game was incredibly dominant. Honestly, it was the scream show on Team Liquid, and the rest of the team just were non-existent. Like Acend, I mean, Acend also really, really good at this map on Bind here, but I mean, still, Team Liquid started off, it looked okay, and then the end of the first half was dominant for Acend. They run away with it 8-4, and then they go onto their offense, and I mean, it was honestly not close at the end of the day. Like, they had a massive finish to the game. They won so many rounds straight to win this entire matchup. It was just ridiculous. And they were clearly the better team on this first map. And it was kind of crazy, really, because Acend, like, they were firing at all cylinders. Like, if these guys, with the talent that they have, are playing on top form, like, they are so difficult to beat. And I thought Liquid, like, there was no world in which some of those guys wouldn't perform. Like, Scream was putting on a show, but the rest of the guys, like, I thought they would at least turn up in terms of fragging to the point where they could compete with Acend on some of these maps. But honestly, this is one of the most dominant series that we have seen in the entirety of Champions, even through the group stages. Like, Liquid got bodied here on Bind, and then they go to another map as well. And I mean, this map was just absurd. This, of course, here on Split. This is probably the best individual round I might have seen this entire tournament from screen. Like, it's pure one tap. Like, it's the headshot machine at its best, to be honest. He gets the first kill here, it's a headshot, who's surprised? Then, well, you know, he gets the second kill as well, it's another headshot, gets put into a 1 versus 3, and the 1 versus 3 is absolutely spectacular. Not too many bullets left. He has like 8 bullets left. Like, he gets the first kill with a double tap, like takes down the second, and then taps down the third for the most ridiculous ace you're gonna see. So down 3-0. This, you'd have thought, wow, Scream gets this monstrous ace. That's going to be a turning point for the team. Link 0 and 4. The rest of the team has 6 kills combined. Scream has 8 after that ace, and you're thinking, okay, wow, like this is going to be the turning point. They're finally going to get the energy. They're going to bring it back in the series. But no, Acend, in fairness to them, like if I was Acend, I'd be thinking, wow, we just threw that 1 versus 3. Like, damn, like, this is the way we lose it, right? Like, it's going to fall away now. Liquid are going to come back, win this map, and that's kind of how you're thinking when you see this happen. But it doesn't happen at all. Acend maintained their composure, and the rest of the guys on Team Liquid pretty much did nothing the entire series, to be honest. And I mean, they find themselves losing every single round this half. One of the rounds was ridiculous. Like, Liquid had a 4 versus 2 advantage. Link got kind of bad timing on a couple of occasions, and I mean, Acend just roll into the bomb site and retake it and win the 4 versus 2 or the 2 versus 4 retake without even a pressure in the world. They win this. I mean, they completely dominate this half. It was 11-1 at the end of this half. Like, this was the only round they won in the entirety of it, and I mean, that is enough to close out the series for them. So Acend dominate Team Liquid, win this series 2-0 comfortably, and I mean, yeah, they get hyped as a result, understandably so. After that kind of crazy drama with Vivo Keys at the start of the tournament, they now find themselves romping all the way through to a grand final, and a grand final which is very winnable given the state of the other team they will be playing. But I mean, an even more remarkable series, the second one surely. Down at the first, as Scream says, fought my heart out, but it wasn't enough. I'm literally dreaming of being champion. Sorry everyone for this showing today. Good GG's Acend. Good luck in the finals. So I guess Screamer will be back stronger for sure. But you know, they need to improve their kind of pressure situations in these moments, right? Because all the big players on the team pretty much failed to deliver, apart from Scream, of course, when the pressure was on. As Link says, not going to cry about it. I talked a load of trash. Could not back it up today. Need to improve going forwards. These were the overall scoreboards. 2-0 for Acend, of course. Bind was 13-6. They won a load of rounds in a row here at the end of this half. It was pretty ridiculous. And mean, then like map 2 on split was even more dominant, right? Despite the fact that Team Liquid won 4 of the first 5 rounds at the start of the second half, it was never really realistically going to be enough to take down Acend, and they closed that in the end on round 18, 26-11 in terms of round count at the end of the day. But the second series was even more absurd. KRU Esports versus Gambit, and I mean, like, what a series this had the potential to be. Stylistically, like, what a matchup this was. People wondering, like, could KRU continue their crazy run they've had so far this tournament? Would Gambit just kind of stomp them out and get to the grand finals? It was honestly a monstrous performance right here from both of the squads. Game 1 at KRU were up early on, and then Gambit pulled off a great comeback here on Breeze. It really feels like sometimes Gambit have a slow start, and then they start to bring things back into play, and then they're going to run away with things. So I thought, okay, Gambit, after they win this game 1, like, they should certainly be favourites to take it now. They've kind of warmed up, got into the groove of things, and yeah, they get this map number 1 victory. But KRU Esports certainly do not agree. They go over to Acend, and they say, look, we're going to bounce back in this one. I mean, of course, as you can see right here, 11-7. They go all the way up 12-7. They win this game 13-7. So, you know, despite the chaos really that was going down game 1, KRU bounced back, win the game 2, and game 3 was the best map, I think, of Valorant that I've pretty much ever seen, to be honest. I think there's no getting around it. The overtimes, I'm pretty sure it went into quintuple overtime, like 5 times overtime. We'll have a look at it right here. So early on in the game, this was realized that KRU Esports on Bind are on a 10-game win streak. They were looking really solid on this map. How could Gambit possibly dethrone them in this situation? Definitely, I think, some questionable vetoes coming out from some of the teams so far here at Champions, when the other team is really good at a particular map. For some reason, they go into it anyway. But of course, Gambit, I guess, going into this one for good reason, but it did not look like for good reason at the start of the game, because, I mean, KRU Esports dominated the early part of this game. 4-0, as you can see. There was a great bonus round coming through, and if you're Gambit, you've got to think, damn, we're already down 4-0 here. Like, it's a long way back at this point. We're playing a team that's 10-0. They're on a 10 streak on this map in their last 10 games, and yeah, how could Gambit possibly come back in this one? It was a 7-2 advantage, I then believe, from KRU apart from that, and I mean, finally, Gambit start to string some rounds together, and I mean, they still have to bring back a monstrous comeback, though, in the second half to even make this competitive. And when they needed Chronicle to step up big, guess what he did over at the B-bomb site? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 gets the ace. I mean, just a ridiculous ace, honestly, from Chronicle to get them back in business 11-10. Now, KRU still win the next round here and go up 12-10, and then Gambit bring it back anyway, 12-12. So an incredible comeback the Gambit bring. Like, honestly, the composure of this team sometimes is incredible, and KRU just kind of fell apart when it mattered. Goes all the way to an overtime, and this was not just one overtime. This was not just 2 overtimes. This was many an overtime. You can see already right here, it's 15-14 for KRU. They had so many match points, to be honest. It was 15-14. Like, all the overtime seemed to go back and forth, back and forth. Eventually, it goes all the way down to the wire. And I mean, as you can see, 15-15 right here, so Gambit bounced back. Then it goes 16-15 one way or another. Then it goes 16-16, and then back and forth every single time, all the way until right at the end, in the very final overtime, Gambit win both of the rounds, and they win this series. I mean, in the end, I mean, it was 18-16 on the final game, and I can't understand the hype from these guys. The comeback was absurd to even get to this point, and then to go all the way through and take down the side of KRU Esports. I just feel bad for the KRU guys, right? Like, after making all this crazy run, like, Liquid, of course, going to have the group of death. Looking back, you could argue with KRU in there, alongside Sentinels, who KRU, of course, knocked out. But yeah, after this crazy run, and with the advantage they potentially had, it just fell away at the last minute. I do feel bad for the guys. I mean, Gambit, you know, just getting over line was incredible. I think just as a Valorant esports fan, right, like, it was just an incredible series. It would have been great to see KRU make a deeper of a run than they already did, but I guess, like, you know, they'll be back stronger, right? And Gambit, one of the favourites for the tournament, they do move on to the grand finals. It was not easy, though. This, then, in terms of peak viewership, I thought was incredible across YouTube and Twitch combined, across all the co-streams, that type of stuff. Over almost 1.1 million viewers for this matchup, Gambit versus KRU. So crazy stuff. Hopefully the grand finals can eclipse it as well, with the extra hype that we're going to be bringing into that one, I'm sure. But yeah, just an incredible series at the end of the day. As Hayes says, KRU might have lost the series, but they won our hearts. Like, you know, what a tournament run from those guys. Just falls short in the end, though. And this was the overall series score, but I wanted to take a look at. Gambit esports 2-1 to KRU. That, of course, does not tell the whole story. Game 1 was 13-8 on Breeze, and you can see all the rounds that Gambit won towards the end. Like, it was looking like KRU were going to take it after an 8-4 half, but at Gambit, it was definitely a story of 2 halves on that game. Then Acend goes the other way, right? KRU wins 6 in a row towards the end here to take this one 13-7 pretty comfortably, but Bind was a different breed. As you can see, halftime was 8-4 for KRU. Then it was, I mean, then it almost looked like they were going to bring it back. At some point, it was 12-10, but yes, Gambit clutch up. They bring it back to a 12-12, and then they win an incredible overtime. Chronicle 13-22, and the overall series scoreboard, as you can see right here, Chronicle putting the squad on his back at times, and honestly, some great performances across the board from all the guys on KRU, but it wasn't to be in the end. That leaves us with this then. The grand finals coming up later today, 5:30 GMT GMT, at least that's my time here in the UK. You guys can work it out from there. 12:30 Eastern, I guess, 9:30 in the morning over that Pacific time, and it's Acend versus Gambit to determine the winner. This is incredible. The way Acend have been playing as of late, I might even say that they're the favourites, but Gambit, their composure when their backs are against the wall has been absurd so far this tournament. Just looking forward, frankly, to a very entertaining series. Amir versus Amir. Who could have predicted that one? But very much intrigued to get your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting that like button tells these YouTube gods this is a good video, and as like you should enjoy it as well, and help grow the competitive Valorant community. Thank you much as always, take care, and I will see you next time.